I haven't made a video in a long time. You know, I've never really been in love with it. But there was something I wanted out of it, you know. I figured that if I practiced talking that it would make me a better communicator. And it makes sense that that's how it works. You don't get good at surfing from reading a book on how to surf. You might get insights, but you have to like go out there and physically feel those instructions out and actually do it. And, similarly, I did the same thing with language. I read book after book after book after book, you know, studied grammar and syntax and semantics and really just studied like, just language, and morphemes and the meaning and breaking words down. And I have a bunch of flashcards that I use, and like I read the flashcard and I spell out the flashcard, and then I have the definition written on the back, and I would memorize the definitions. And I have about like probably over 60 flashcards that I've memorized. But I almost never use any of those words. A lot of them are too learned sounding. Um, and I just don't think like the average person's going to understand them. So like I don't bother. And that's not to say that they're useless, right? Because when you learn the word, you learn the definition. And the definition is usually simple words that make up the concept that they define. So I mean, you learn the words and you learn the definition words. So I mean, whatever. You might use the definition words more. You do like and, the, for, I don't know, anything. I still don't feel that I'm a very strong communicator. And I really, you know, I'm not driven to talk to people for the most part. Action is easier, so much easier. It's so much easier to do the thing or not to do the thing than it is to talk about it. In most cases, you know, um, I'm not very chatty. It surprises me sometimes, or to be more accurate, it astonishes me, like how much people can talk and how much people have to talk about. Most of the people I know, they can just talk and talk and talk and talk. And I think it's a little bizarre to me. Not passing judgment or anything. It's bizarre in the sense that, like myself, the people I know, they get up in the morning, they go to work, they come home, they do their chores, and if there's time, they delve into their hobby or their passion or whatever, and then they go to bed and repeat, right? Well, that's what I do. So, like, where are they getting all these things to talk about? It's like, I don't get much to talk about. And I do the same things as them, my own version, but wow. Sometimes I get overwhelmed and anxious when people talk to me because they just don't stop and it feels like a torrent of like, you know, information or something. Just like it overwhelms my brain and I'm like kind of feeling like a jerk because I really want them to stop talking. um, but I don't tell them to stop talking. I try to breathe and exercise my endurance and my patience, and I try to get the resistor out of the way so I can just hear the person and not through a filter. And it's hard sometimes because it is overwhelming. I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about that. Just getting overwhelmed from listening to somebody talk like for like 5 minutes straight. It's like and you know, I mean, I guess I could have a lot to talk about. Like I could talk about the things that I do, but since I do the things that I do so often and so regularly, it's just a very normal thing for me. And my enthusiasm for doing the things that I do goes into doing those things that I do, not into talking about it. I won't say I have no enthusiasm to talk about what I do, because I do, but it's not exciting to talk about, right? Let's look at this rubber thing. Oh, here's what I did with this rubber thing. One amongst other things. I grab these little fat parts. Okay. I keep my hand, the back of my hand, in line with my arm so it's straight, not kinked. Straight. I bring them out to the sides. I lock out my arms. Find good posture. Sit up straight. And I lift from my pelvic floor and, good posture, straight spine, neck erect. And I contract my shoulder blades. I squeeze my shoulder blades together like I'm holding a pencil between them. And I just go in and out of the tension, in and out of the tension, in and out of the tension. And I count out 100. Sounds like a lot? It isn't really. I set a timer once to see how long it took. Well, I counted out my 100. It's like 45 seconds. I just count to 100 for measurement. But it takes, like 45 seconds. Just go. Boop. See, look, little micro pulses. Doop, doop, doop. But you get a lot of bang for your buck because you do super high reps. And you're just contracting your upper back and shoulders 100 times, It pushes blood into those areas. It tones those muscles. Well, that's not very exciting to talk about, is it? But I'm very enthusiastic about what it does for me, who wants to hear about me doing push-ups? It's a part of my day, but like it only takes up like a short moment of my day. Then I move on. I probably only spend like 10 minutes or less usually doing push-ups. You don't have to do a lot to get huge results. You really don't. You just have to be regular. You know what I mean? If you spent 10 or 15 minutes doing push-ups a day, over the course 5-6 months, boom, muscle city, baby. But if you just do them every once in a while, ain't shit gonna happen. And think about that, right? So I just talked about this and how count out 100, right? And it only takes me 45 seconds. That's only 45 seconds of my day. You shitting me? That's not much at all. 45 seconds out of a day, which has 24 hours. Usually I do many sets of 100. So let's just say like in a day, I spend, on the lower side, 2 or 3 minutes doing this. 2 or 3 minutes out of a 24-hour day. Okay, 2 or 3 minutes, Sunday through Saturday. You know, I haven't even spent 20 minutes doing this, right? But I'm still getting so much bang for my buck. And it's less than 20 minutes a week. Okay, so when I started getting serious about my push-up routine, my push-up habit, I would do 20 in the morning before work and 20 push-ups after work when I got home. I'd do it right after I got out of my car. I'd do it right in the driveway. And I set a timer to see how long it takes to do 20 push-ups. And you know what? It does not even take 1 whole minute. And so, but let's say that it did take a whole minute, and I did 2 sets of 20 that day, 40 push-ups total, and I didn't spend even 2 minutes in that day doing them. But let's say that I did 2 minutes a day, 2 times 7, 7 days a week. That's not that much time. It's almost no time at all. But the results are fucking real, dude. Like, push-ups have been such a game changer for my jiu-jitsu practice. And it's awesome, man. Like, I felt like in my jiu-jitsu practice it was going in a positive way. Like I was incrementally getting better and more fluid and seeing more opportunity. And my arms pre-push-up routine didn't really get fatigued or anything. They didn't. So I didn't feel like there was an issue as far as strength goes. But I just wanted to get good at push-ups, because it's just one of those things that's eluded me for years. Because I got really into fitness and working out and strength training and yoga and Pilates and just various cross-training systems. And push-ups were always difficult for me, like, why can I like deadlift 170 pounds when I almost never, ever, ever, ever deadlift? I mean, sure, maybe that's not a lot for most people, but that's like 20 or 30 pounds over my body weight. So why can I do something that's like, and I can bench press over 100 pounds, I might be able to bench press maybe like 120, but how come I can't do fucking push-ups, right? So that bothered me. So I got, I devoted time to it. And I'm glad I did, because like I said, man, it's just contributed so much to my jiu-jitsu. Maybe it's like the being in plank position a lot and how I can use my arms to like really hold a brace on somebody and like hold them down, and whatever the reason is that push-ups make my jiu-jitsu awesome, I'm glad I did it. Totally worthwhile. And you know what? I don't spend that much time doing them. I just do it regularly. Just regularly. That's it. And you know what? Like I said, I usually do push-ups every day for like 10 minutes or less. And I'm not doing push-ups the whole 10 minute, you know what I mean? I have this concrete bench out in the front of my house, and if this is the ground right here, the bench is about yay high and maybe like 2.5 feet wide. And I just put my hands on there and I do, like elevated push-ups. So I'm not down on the ground. I don't like doing it down on the ground. I do it sometimes, but I like the angle better of leaning into things and pushing off of them. And, okay, the point was that I don't spend much time doing it, and I don't spend the consistent 10 minutes doing push-ups. No, I'll crack out like 20 like this, and then I'll stop and I'll stretch and do some stretching, look around, listen to the birds, stare at the sun. And then Then I change my grip. Palm like that on the front of the bench, palm like this on the back of the bench. Now I'm doing another angle. And then, I'll do that for 10. And then I'll switch hand angles. 10. And I'll stretch. Listen to the birds, stare at the sun, pick my nose, flick a boogie. And then I'll do wide grips, right? 10, 15. Not many. And then, stretch, look around. And then I'll go like this when my palm's on the bench and go like that, So each time you switch hand positions, you're working out, but you're kind of getting a break because the muscles you used for this aren't engaging the same way as they are for this or this or this. So you kind of feel fresher longer changing the hand positions and stuff like that. And you're working your pectorals and your shoulders and all your arms right down to your fingertips in a very dynamic way. Which contributes good to like grappling and MMA and stuff, You're strengthening your arm in this angle, You get an underhook, you yank the fucker, You turn your arms into big meat hooks. You swing your arm around the guy's neck, you yank him in, stuff your knee in his tummy or something. But the point is, I don't spend a lot of time doing the push-ups. I don't spend a lot of time doing stuff like this, And I don't spend a lot of time lifting weights. And I don't really spend a lot of time doing yoga or Pilates, but I do them often and regularly, and that's the name of the game, dude. I like to follow along videos and like kind of just, mimic what the person in the video is doing to broaden my knowledge of that subject, yoga, Pilates. And some of the videos are like 10 minutes. The next day might be 20 minutes. The next day might be 30 minutes, but it's always in that window, 10 to 20 to 30. That's not that long. It goes by fast. It's the Pilates series I like. Sometimes they're generally like 20 minutes to 40 minutes. That kind of is a long time, I feel like. But, to me, it's worth it. What I get out of that is invaluable. All right. I'm done.